All right, welcome back to episode 7 of the DBTalks Football Podcast. And today we're going to be focusing on Barca's emphatic 4-0 win against Bilbao at the new Camp Nou. So we're going to be talking about Barca's recent form and the return from the international break, and how Flick adjusted his style for this specific game, and how we've seen a much better performance today.
Yeah, so Barcelona won 4-0 today in a pretty convincing victory. And yeah, I think today overall Barcelona played very well, and they also got the clean sheet, which was a very big improvement because one of the main issue with Barcelona recently has been the defense. So I think the defense today improved a lot, and we saw Hansi Flick kind of change the styles of defense a bit. Like we kind of noticed that the high line there wasn't like too much of a high line. They're kind of playing a bit more back sometimes. And yeah, I also saw Joan Garcia come back, starting in net, which was very exciting to see, because he's supposed to be Barcelona's like main future keeper. So him coming back from injury is good, and I think he had some good saves today. So yeah, that was very good. And then the 11 was pretty interesting as well that we saw today because Rashford was out because he had the flu, so he wasn't even able to train, so he wasn't able to play today. He wasn't in the squad. And we saw Ferran start. We saw a midfield of Olmo, Casado, and Fermin start, not Casado, Eric Garcia, which is pretty interesting. And then we also saw Gerard Martinez center back, which I was very surprised by. I did not expect that, but we did see that in preseason. Like in the preseason, we saw Hansi Flick experiment with that. So, and it kind of worked, I think, today. So, I guess that just leads to more avenues that Flick can use for different games. And we also saw Rafinha come back today from injury as well. He was on the bench, but then he did come on later on. He got subbed on. And I think he's getting into the groove again. So we'll see if he plays. I don't know if he'll start versus Chelsea, but just it's very exciting to see him back. He's definitely a very useful piece. So yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, even before this game, Athletic Bilbao were considered to be struggling in the league and in the Champions League. They only have 3 wins since September, so there's been pressure on Ernesto Valverde. And even in this game, they were missing key players like Iñaki Williams. So yeah, I mean, even though they were in bad form, I think this win for Barcelona was really important. And as you spoke on the injuries, Ter Stegen and Pedri and other players are still kind of out. We saw Rafinha return. He came on for like 5 minutes today, which was good to see. And I hope he's pretty much ready for Chelsea if he can play. We saw Pedri. I mean, there's been rumors that he might be ready for Chelsea, but I honestly doubt it because, yeah, he hasn't been fully fit yet. We saw Joan Garcia. I think he's been really good. He was really good today. And then yeah, Frankie De Jong was still suspended for today after his last match where he got the red card. So yeah, he was absent from today. But yeah, I feel like there was a lot of emotion going into this match for the Barcelona fans because this was the return to the Camp Nou after pretty much 2 years, and also the nerves and kind of situation with Nico Williams in the last summer, where I mean there was lots of rumors that he would be joining Barcelona, but at the end he kind of just flaked us and joined or extended his contract with Athletic Bilbao. So there was kind of some emotions today behind the game. And we also saw throughout the game that he was every time he was near the ball or kind of dribbling with the ball, there was a lot of boos around him, which I feel like the fans were kind of just passionate about that situation. But yeah, the lineup for today, I think, as we know, our midfield depth right now is really poor. So we saw guys like Olmo playing pretty much defensive midfield. We saw Eric Garcia also playing defensive midfield. So yeah, but I think overall this game state, I think it was really good. I think this is the exact type of win we needed coming back into the Camp Nou. And yeah, early in the first half, we saw Lewandowski get a really good goal. Um, yeah, it was basically a defensive error from Athletic Bilbao's part, but again, really efficient and incisive from Lewandowski. He gets the ball, picks it up, and a great left foot finish near at the near post of the keeper. And yeah, I think at the start of this game, the press from Barcelona was really good. I think it was pretty much rejuvenated, and this was much better signs from what we saw before the international break. And I think, yeah, again, Lewandowski, how good he's been for Barcelona. I think he has over 100 goals in like in like 2 or 3 years, which is just really, really good for a striker of his age. And yeah, I think for that first goal, I think you can maybe question Unai Simon, but again, a really good finish from Lewandowski. And then in the 21st minute, we saw Fermin make it he almost makes it 2-0, but it was a good save from Unai Simon. And then again, after that save, we saw Daniel Olmo kind of shoot at it, and then he also missed. But yeah, there was a lot of early chances for Barcelona. But at the end of that half, we saw Ferran Torres get his goal, where again that Yamal pass, one of the best assists we've seen this season. Again, basically his normal Trivela that he always does. But again, it was basically perfect. It was played up for Ferran Torres, and he kind of just ran through and a cool finish from Ferran Torres. But yeah, again, you can maybe question Unai Simon, but again, overall, I think it was just a really good goal. But yeah, that first half was again a really good half from Barcelona overall.
I think the first half was very good from Barcelona. I think the attack was creating a lot more. It was kind of threatening. There it could have been like chances where Barcelona could have scored, but just didn't. I do want to kind of highlight Lamine Yamal because I think like this game, I think Lamine Yamal is one of the standout players for me. Probably the most standout player because he's just very good like with his dribbling, his playmaking, and yeah, he's just very good overall. And it's very nice to see this form of his so far, like in recent games. Because before he was kind of struggling because he wasn't playing at 100%. He has some like discomfort, so he obviously couldn't play at his best. But now that he's kind of been getting more, I guess, healthy, he got a break from the international break. He didn't play, so yeah, he had some rest. And yeah, he's back. He's so good. The assist you mentioned, the Travella, it's a signature assist at this point for him. The L2 triangle, because you saw last season he used to get a lot of Travellas. Travella, like he used to always try to pass with the Travella, and he even gets some assists out of it. Like Rafinha would usually finish off those chances. So yeah, it was very nice to see. Lewandowski, you mentioned him. Yeah, it was a very good finish from him today. I think he had a pretty solid game overall, and he is now the first goal scorer for the new Spotify Camp Nou. So that's very significant and probably very important to him. And also, I guess he's one of the more deserving players to have that title, I'd say. And I think Barcelona overall is also pretty solid, like defensively as well. I think Kounde's been getting better. Maybe it's just me, but I think Kounde had a much better game, especially compared to his recent form. I think this is probably one of his better games. I think we should also give Eric Garcia some more. I mean, some more appreciation, I guess, because I do think that having someone like him who's versatile, who can play almost anywhere he needs to be, and he can do a good like job at it. I think that's something that's very, very valuable and something you don't see too often in many players. So him being able to play as like a DM today, and I think he was pretty solid at it. I think that was definitely important for today.
Yeah, you did mention Koundé. I think this was one of his best games for Barcelona this season. I think he did really well to almost lock up Nico Williams, and to the point where Nico Williams had to go to the other flank against Balde and try to hurt this defense. But yeah, I think Koundé did really well today. And also, you mentioned Eric Garcia. Honestly, I think this season, Eric Garcia might be Barcelona's top five players this season because of how crucial he's been and how versatile he can be for this whole team. I think at center back he's been really good, even though he's not that good at playing at highline, but because of his like lack of pace. But I think he's just been so good at playing everywhere for Barcelona. Even when he's playing like right back, he's really good. And today at DM, I think he was controlling our game really well, even with the lack of Pedri and Frankie De Jong. I think Eric Garcia was really good today. But yeah, moving on to the second half, we saw again early goal. This was the second early goal in this game. In the first half, we saw Lewa's goal, and then this half we saw Fermin Lopez get his goal. And again, another mistake kind of from Athletic Bilbao's side. Fermin just gets the ball, he's played in, and then a great finish with his weak foot in the bottom corner. So yeah, I think again we know how crucial Fermin can be for this team attacking wise from the midfield. I think he's just so good at making those runs and getting in those attacking spaces. And I think if we have a full strong 11, I think he has to be one of those players that is in that team because of how he can improve Barcelona's pressing to the other team and how he can affect the attacking runs that the team makes. And then yeah, after that we saw in the basically 54th minute we saw Sunset sent off after a bad challenge on Fermin. Initially, I thought it might be a yellow, but after VAR replayed the foul, I felt it was a straight red because he doesn't go near the ball, and it was really honestly a really bad tackle from Sunset. And again, yeah, so this game was destined for Barcelona to win. And after that red card, I think Barcelona just took control and decided to kind of casually win this game. And then yeah, in the 90th minute, we saw Ferran Torres get another great goal. And again, this was another great assist from Yamal. He just goes past one player, two player, three player, and then keeps going and plays a great ball to Ferran Torres. And this time, I think this was a much better finish from Ferran Torres, much more determined. And yeah, another great goal from Ferran. And overall, in this game, we saw Barcelona have 19 shots, almost two expected goals, and a lot of attempts in the final third. So yeah, really good from Barcelona. Really good return to the Camp Nou, and I hope this form continues. And again, we saw pretty much one of our first clean sheets in this whole season. So yeah, defensively, I think we were much better. But I do think that Athletic Bilbao were not too good today. But again, yeah, you can't fault how good this defense and the return of Joan Garcia was. He gets our first clean sheet or one of our first clean sheets in the season. And yeah, if we just look right now, to at the moment, Barcelona's first in the league. Obviously, Madrid has not played their they have a game in hand. So yeah, let's see how they play tomorrow against Elche. I hope they lose, but yeah, great performance overall from Barca.
So, yeah, the second half was pretty solid for Barca. I do think the red card did help a lot with just Barcelona making sure they don't like concede or they just like maintain the lead. And then you also mentioned these for me like his goal as well. And also I do think Fermin was very good with pressing today. And Fermin overall is just he's a demon of a player. I think like he has to be the starter at the cam position. I don't see Olmo really being the starter cam over Fermin right now because I think Fermin has just been a lot better, more aggressive, and he's been taking his chances a lot better. He's been scoring a lot. Olmo has kind of struggled with that, even though he scored the international break for Spain. With Barca, we see that almost kind of struggled, and he's missed a lot of chances, and even very good chances at that. So that's definitely something that we'll see. We'll see if what happens with Olmo, if he's able to kind of regain his form and try to fight more for that position. And then yeah, Lamine Yamal also another assist. Yeah, he's just so insane. I mean, the dribbling as well. He was so good. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just great to see Lamine Yamal play. Like I think for me, he was like the man of the match. Even though they gave for me man of the match, like official man of the match in the game, I say for me it'd probably be like Lamine Yamal. I think he was so impressive today, and yeah, he's just such a huge huge boost for the attack. And I do kind of want to talk a bit about the subs. I mean, main sub that I want to talk about is like Rafinha. He got subbed on, and I do think I mean he was okay, but I don't think he would have made too great of an impact today. I think it was just like it's good to give him those minutes to like readjust. And we also saw Dro and Bernal also come on. Bernal is a player that I think has so much potential. And then I think later on we'll maybe see him get more and more minutes because he did play a decent amount today. I think after coming back from ACL. So and he did also play versus Palestine in the Catalonia versus Palestine match. So I do think that hopefully we see more of Bernal because I think he's very talented and potentially can even play some more games just to give like other midfielders like Pedri, De Jong, like kind of more resting minutes. So I think he'll be important. I think Joe is also very good in the midfield. I think he's very talented as well. I know that Pedri said that Joe is his favorite like La Masia talent. So yeah, I think hopefully we see more of those two because I do think they can make a big impact in the season. Especially we see later on in the season how more and more games stack up, more important games too. It's important to have a very high quality depth basically. And the midfield is definitely a very important position. So hopefully that all goes well. And yeah, it's overall second half I think it was pretty good. I know Joan Garcia had that good save. I do want to kind of highlight Jerry Martin because I think he was pretty good, and I do know that Jerry Martin kind of gets like a lot of slander in the his Barca community, I guess. But I think today he was good, especially at center back. I think he was good, and then when we saw Balde subbed off at halftime for Araujo, and then Martinez shift to left back. I still think he did a solid job. Like not too impressive. I think Balde definitely was better in the first half as a left back because we saw Balde was insane with like those runs and dribbling. He's just amazing. If he can master his crossing, I do think that it'll be so dangerous for Barcelona. Having someone else having like a good crossing and then someone on the other side just finishing those like someone like Lewandowski or Rafinha. I think that will be just something that Barcelona can score goals off of. So yeah, I do think Gerard Martin's also a good crosser. So I think it'd be interesting to see more of him later on in the season. And I think he's like a warrior. He made some good tackles as well. So yeah, I do think it's a very good job on all the defenders for keeping the clean sheet. So yeah.
Yeah, from this game, I'd say my highlight players were Yamal. Obviously, he had two great assists. He was playmaking throughout this game. I think he was trying to take on his man much more this game, which was a good thing to see because we've seen in the last few weeks we've seen him not. I guess he goes too deep and he doesn't take on his man as much. So I think this game was another a great game to watch from him. I think Ferran, even though he got his two goals, I think he did miss a couple of chances, so he could have done a bit better. And also some of his decision making, I think he could just do slightly better, and it's a bit off. I think obviously Lewandowski, I just think him as a has a threat and a presence in the box. I think even though he doesn't do too much in the game, just him being there is important for the team. Obviously for me, he had a lot of energy and he was helping control the game and always pressing, and also Joan Garcia, just having him in the back, it just kind of cools our minds a bit and just brings off some of the pressure. And you did mention Joao Martin. I think in this game when he was playing center back, I think he was honestly pretty decent. He was pretty solid. I think because he's left footed, I think Flick is trying to, I guess, play him there because he's naturally left footed. So yeah, we'll see how Flick uses him in the future. But I think he was good today. And also Balde. I think he was good in the first half. I'm not sure why he got subbed off at halftime. Hopefully it's not an injury, but there's not been much news about it. So yeah, hopefully he's not injured. I think maybe Flick was just kind of trying to save him for Chelsea. So yeah, hopefully he's fit. And then yeah, I think some other talking points we saw just the impact of the Camp Nou. I think after the game, Lewandowski said he said that playing here feels different and it boosts our confidence. So yeah, I think the new Camp Nou. I think we mentioned how manager boosts are a thing. Maybe this stadium boost can be a thing for this Barca team, and hopefully they pick up form in the right time of the season, which is right now. We saw Flick basically make a lot of tweaks to his tactics. We saw us have a fast start, a lot of effective press, and we saw that even though we were holding the ball for a long time during the game, whenever we won the ball back, we had effective transitions. And then yeah, we saw Yamal emerging as our centerpiece for our attack. So again, really good game from him. And for the future, I guess I think overall this team, the injuries are coming back slowly. I think right now the only injuries left are guy I guess Ter Stegen. Hopefully, I mean Joan Garcia. We've seen how good he can be, and Rafinha. I guess when he's fully fit. So yeah, we'll see how those injuries work out. And the title race right now, I think it's heating up because I guess if Madrid don't win tomorrow, we're both tied on points and Barcelona does have a better goal difference. So that would put Barcelona at the top of the league after 13 games or so. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. But any other thoughts?
I do think this is a very good game to get momentum into the UCL because Barca play Chelsea on Tuesday, and then Young is got rest, so I guess he should be very good on Tuesday. Pedri, I'm not sure if he'll play or not. I mean, people are saying different things like that. He's back in training kind of, but then we're not sure if he's fit to like actually play or even start. So I wouldn't get my hopes too high on Pedri playing, but I think even what we saw from today with Eric, I think an Eric and De Jong midfield could work. So yeah, and then I think Flick did a lot better today tactically. So I'm sure that he'll try to carry on some of that stuff into the future games, depending on the opponent, of course. But yeah, I think today was very good. I think the new stadium, the camp. I mean, it's not finished yet, but I think that like surrounding Barca recently, there's been a lot of high morale, like with the whole Messi returning to returning to Barcelona to visit the Camp Nou. That brought a lot of, I guess, happiness to Barca fans. And then Messi was also voted the most beloved Barca player. So yeah, just the whole Messi and Barca, like just that love between him, the fans, and the connection. I think that definitely has an impact on just the club overall. So I think that's something that's just very important to have. Just things outside the pitch. I think that's very important. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think even today in this game, in the 10th minute, we heard Messi chants, and I think one of our friends were hearing Pedri chants, but not too sure about that. I think when Rafinha was trying to come on, I think there were Rafinha chants as well. So yeah, a lot of good energy around the club right now. And yeah, do let us know your thoughts. Let us know who was your man of the match and what this could mean for Barcelona's title race in La Liga and their future game against Chelsea in the Champions League. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.